You look at them and see someone feasting on the adoration of the world, thinking that their hunger makes them strong. But the truth is far darker. They are swallowing a slow-acting poison. The very thing they chase, the admiration, the praise, the attention, is what is eating them alive from the inside out. Welcome back. Today, we're going to examine the soul of the predator. You are here because you have been haunted by the injustice of it all. You gave them your love, your time, your sanity, and they took it without a backward glance. You may have thought they thrived on your energy, that they grew stronger with your suffering. But here is the terrifying secret. The narcissistic supply they crave is not food, it is radiation. It is biologically incompatible with life. They are not growing, they are decaying. Every hit of supply gives them a temporary rush, a feeling of godhood, while quietly rotting their mind and spirit. And they cannot stop. Let's strip away the illusion of the evil genius. The narcissist's brain works like a severe substance abuser's. When they command attention or terrorize you into submission, their brain releases floods of dopamine and opioids. They literally get high. This is no metaphor. That rush temporarily masks a screaming void inside, the true self buried in shame. But the effect is fleeting. Each hit weakens their ability to generate real happiness. They are tethered to an external life support system destined to fail. This addiction drives chronic hyperarousal. Imagine driving a car at full speed in first gear, constantly monitoring the world, scanning for admiration, plotting reality to serve your ego. That is their nervous system. Their body is flooded with stress hormones 24 hours a day. While they appear calm, their organs are screaming. They age faster, burn out sooner, and destroy their health. They think the drama energizes them, but it is slowly killing them. You've seen the glazed look in their eyes when they are feeding, the look of a predator. But when the supply fades, the crash comes. Narcissistic dysphoria hits, a depression so deep it feels like psychological death. They are terrified of being alone with their own minds, of feeling their own shame. They are not running toward power, they are running from the terror of being themselves. This need for supply explains the objectification of those around them. You are not a person. You are a vending machine. When you set boundaries, take a sick day, or have a need, you have cut off their drug. Their rage is the panic of an addict denied their fix. They are not cruel because they choose to be, they are desperate. Even the infamous love bombing phase was about supply. They mirrored you, flattered you, seduced you, not because they wanted you, but because they were testing the product. Once hooked, they relaxed. But this relief is short-lived. Addiction brings tolerance. The admiration that once thrilled them fades. They need more, faster, dirtier. They chase a feeling that no longer exists, blaming you for the impossibility. They operate on the leaky bucket principle. No matter how much love or praise you pour in, it drains instantly. They are always empty. Enough is a word they cannot understand. Their hunger forces them to burn bridges, destroy relationships, and sacrifice their long-term survival for a short-term hit. They are fragile, vulnerable, and entirely dependent on the opinions of others. Without a mirror of admiration, they cease to exist. The waiter, the clerk, the partner, anyone can destroy their day just by withholding a smile. This is not power. This is slavery. The supply they chase also blinds them. Surrounded by enablers, they never get honest feedback. They think they are geniuses when they are mediocre. They think they are loved when they are feared. This delusion drives them into disastrous decisions, leaving good jobs, abandoning partners, investing poorly. They walk off cliffs while staring at their reflection, convinced they are invincible. So, when you see them chasing a new partner, posting endlessly, or performing for attention, do not envy them. You are watching someone frantically trying to plug a hole in their soul with wet paper. They are starving. They are doomed. The supply that fuels them is the very thing that prevents them from ever healing or finding a true self. They are eating themselves to death. Now that we understand their addiction, we need to look at the mechanism that turns the narcissist's world into a nightmare for everyone around them: tolerance. The first time they received admiration, attention, or love, it was electric. Every compliment, every gaze, every sign of approval felt like pure energy, a high they couldn't get enough of. But human brains adapt. This is called hedonic adaptation. The thrill fades. What used to excite them becomes background noise. The first high is gone. And the narcissist needs a stronger, faster, more intense fix just to feel alive. This is why relationships with narcissists are doomed to devaluation. It's not that you changed or became less valuable. Their brains simply built up a tolerance to you. You are no longer new or exciting. Instead of realizing their own biology has betrayed them, they blame the source, the person who once made them feel powerful. You used to be fun, they say. You used to make me happy. And then they discard you. Not because of your worth, but because the drug no longer works. When admiration stops working, they switch to negative supply: fear, anger, shame. Fear is dense energy, easier to extract than love. Arguments, humiliation, cruelty, these are their tools. They provoke reactions just to feel something. If kindness fails, chaos will do. It's the addict reaching for a hit, scraping the bottom of the barrel. They become risk junkies. To feel alive, they seek constant adrenaline. Reckless driving, gambling, spending sprees, public outbursts. Every crisis, every shock, every scandal is a way to jolt their numb system into feeling, even for a moment. Peace is terrifying to them. Calm feels like death. They need the storm to survive. Cheating is part of this cycle, too. It's rarely about love or intimacy, it's about the rush. The secret thrill, the adrenaline spike, the feeling of being cleverer, faster, stronger. Managing the lies, juggling schedules, hiding phones, this becomes a full-time job. They are burning their brain to stay alive, building a house of cards in a hurricane. Sex, once a tool for connection, becomes mechanical. They develop sexual anhedonia, unable to feel true pleasure, performing instead of living. Survivors describe the dead eyes during intimacy, the emptiness behind the gaze. They conquer bodies but cannot feel joy. They project this internal deadness onto you. You are boring. You are frigid. You are uninspiring. Entertain me, is the silent command. When you fail, they devalue you, blaming you for the chemical malfunction in their brain. The mirror is ugly because their reflection is broken. This tolerance trap makes them ungrateful. Even a sacrifice as extreme as a kidney could be met with resentment. Their memory and appreciation are metabolized immediately. "What have you done for me lately?" is the only standard they live by. Yesterday is gone. Today is a void. They use triangulation to manufacture potency. A third person is brought into the mix, an ex, a co-worker, a friend, to spark jealousy and competition. The surge of attention validates them. It proves they are the prize. But this destroys trust. Eventually, old sources of supply fade. The game collapses. Hoovering becomes desperate. When the supply line runs dry, they circle back to old victims, not for love, but for scraps. Reheating the meal they threw away years ago. It's pathetic, but it shows their dependency. They cannot sustain themselves. They are trapped in a loop of craving and emptiness. Ultimately, the tolerance trap ensures lifelong dissatisfaction. There is no drug strong enough to fill the void. They will run on a treadmill of craving their entire life, panting for a high that always slips away. Alone, empty, terrified. The craving is the cage, and there is no key. To keep chasing supply, the narcissist builds a false self, a perfect, untouchable version of themselves that invites admiration. But this mask is heavy. Imagine holding a 50-pound shield in front of your face every minute of every day. That's their life. They are exhausted, drained, and running on empty. This is ego depletion. They have no energy left for kindness, for patience, for real connections. Every ounce of effort goes into maintaining a facade. This constant strain leads to glitches. You've seen them. Sudden rage over something tiny. Blank stares when you cry. Lies that make no sense. These are moments when the machine overheats. As they age, their energy declines, but the mask doesn't get lighter. The false self starts to slip. They become sloppier, harsher, and increasingly transparent. Pretending becomes harder, and cracks appear. The false self demands isolation. Intimacy is dangerous. Anyone who sees behind the mask threatens them. So they push people away, sabotage connection, and choose loneliness over vulnerability. They scream for attention, yet keep the drawbridge up. They live in paranoia. Because they constantly manipulate reality to get supply, they assume everyone else is doing the same. They trust no one. They spy, accuse, and control. Their kingdom is a world of enemies that exist only in their mind. They are trapped in fear, alone, and suspicious of every shadow. They lose intuition. The true self is buried under lies and ego. They cannot trust their gut, make poor choices, and fall for sycophants while discarding loyal friends. Flying blind, they crash into life's obstacles because they refuse to navigate honestly. The false self is a parasite. It consumes the host. They think they are the image, but in reality, the mask is eating them alive. Health, sleep, peace, everything is sacrificed to maintain it. By the time they realize the image is hollow, there's nothing left. The statue stands, but the man inside is gone. They rely on magical thinking to keep the mask intact. They rewrite history, deny reality, and gaslight themselves. Reality always wins, though. Bankruptcy, divorce, illness, life catches up. The world will not conform to their illusions. When you leave, they start a smear campaign. Supply is gone. To protect the false self, they paint you as the villain, recruit flying monkeys, obsess over your reputation. This isn't power, it's panic. Every effort is to patch the cracks and keep their world from collapsing. Over time, they become caricatures. The aging somatic narcissist dresses like a teenager. The cerebral narcissist rants about genius while unemployed. The mask warps into exaggeration. Mockery replaces adoration. Desperation replaces charm. They will take the laugh if it's all they can get. And the ultimate cost? Authenticity. They live and die without ever being known. Their spouse, their children, even they themselves never see the real person inside. 70 years spent performing a role for applause from strangers. The soul sacrificed for admiration. The tragedy is total. There comes a moment when the narcissist's world crashes. The narcissistic supply dries up. The admiration fades. Careers stall. Partners leave. Children go no contact. This is the moment of narcissistic collapse. The addict runs out of their drug, and the withdrawal hits hard. They are not built to face reality without the buffer of constant adoration. They break. You see the hermit phase. The collapsed narcissist retreats. They lock doors, close blinds, stop grooming. They isolate themselves, stewing in anger and resentment. They tell themselves they are too good for the world, but deep down, they know the world has rejected them. They rot in the tomb they built themselves, haunted by their own choices. They become bitter historians. The past becomes their only playground. They replay old grudges, relive glory days, and obsess over times they were wronged. There is no future, only memory. They are trapped in a loop, unable to move forward because there is no supply waiting ahead, only in the past. The health consequences hit next. A lifetime of stress, rage, and addiction takes a toll. Heart problems, chronic pain, autoimmune conditions. They age decades in a few years. Their bodies reflect their inner bitterness, their faces set into permanent scowls. The ugliness inside finally manifests outside. They often lose financial control. Money was always a tool to buy supply. When the collapse hits, they are broke. The image of wealth mattered more than its security. They ate the seed corn, spent recklessly, and left chaos behind. They turn into the worst energy vampires. Few people remain around them, caretakers, trapped family members. They drain whatever life is left in those around them. Complaints, criticism, demands. Being in the room feels heavy. Relief comes only when they leave. Paranoia turns into psychosis. They believe in conspiracies, think nurses or strangers are plotting against them, and fight enemies that don't exist. The mind that was once their weapon is now their tormentor. Even in death, they try to hoover. Nasty wills, secret debts, spiteful letters. They reach from the grave to extract attention, control, or reaction. It's a final, pathetic grasp for supply. Finally comes complete isolation. They die alone. Every bridge burned. Every resource spent. Silence, the thing they ran from all their life, finally arrives. Their craving for attention ends in total obscurity. And you? You are watching from a distance. You see the tragedy, but you also see justice. They chose the drug over the person every time. Now they have the drug, and nothing else. The craving destroyed the vessel. We have reached the end. The final act in the narcissist's life is what I call narcissistic mortification. This is the psychic death that comes before the physical death, the moment the false self disintegrates, and the narcissist is forced to face the void. It is a scream without sound. They feel exposed, powerless, and unbearably ashamed. It is the hell they built for themselves, brick by brick, for decades. You will see the dead eyes. The light goes out. There is no humanity left, only a cold, empty stare. This is the addict who has overdosed on their own ego. They are gone. Do not try to save them. You cannot save someone who is already dead inside. The only person you can save is yourself. Suicide ideation often appears in this stage. The shame, the emptiness, and the unbearable collapse can drive them to threaten or attempt it. Sometimes, it is a tool to control, sometimes it is a real escape. Either way, it is a stark reminder, the life they tried to build on adoration is fragile, unstable, and toxic. They act out of spite. If they are falling, they want to take others with them. They may try to ruin your happiness one last time, lash out, or manipulate. Your empathy is a weapon in their hands, so you must step away. Protect yourself. Do not give them the chance to drag you down. Here is the truth you need to hold on to. You were the supply they craved, but you were also their poison. Your truth, your light, your humanity, it was too much for them to digest. You didn't destroy them. Their reaction to you destroyed themselves. For the survivor, this is liberation. You now see the illusion of power they held. They were never strong, they were starving. They were never gods, they were beggars in fine clothing. You are the one with the riches now. You have the ability to grow, to love freely, and to live in peace. You have something they will never have, contentment. You can sit in a quiet room and feel whole. You don't need anyone to validate your existence. You are the sun in your own sky. They were a moon reflecting that light, and now, the sun has set on them. The craving is gone for you. You no longer chase their approval. You have broken the trauma bond. You are free. Their addiction no longer holds power over your mind, your heart, or your life. The verdict is clear. The narcissists spent their life chasing a ghost, and in the end, they became that ghost. They were consumed by their own hunger, and now the feast is only ashes. Now it is your turn. Walk away from the ruin. Step into your light. This is your life. Cherish it. Protect your energy. Build boundaries and never allow anyone to steal your peace again. Remember, the one thing they craved most was your attention, and the one thing that finally destroys them is your indifference. And here's what I want you to do next. If this video resonated with you, hit like, it helps others find this guidance. Subscribe for more deep dives into understanding narcissistic behavior and protecting your energy. Share your thoughts or your story in the comments. We build strength and healing together. Take a moment today to reflect on your boundaries, your growth, and your freedom. You survived what they could not. You reclaimed your power. This is more than survival, it's transformation. Walk into your life boldly, and never look back.